Bow, Papa Zero here once again, and today I got a short video update on the Detonate Dead Chronomancer I made last week. If you haven't seen that build guide, be sure to check it out. It's in the description below. In the video, I go into detail about the build itself and why I chose Chronomancer. A quick TLDW though, the Detonate Dead skill is a spell that has to target a corpse in order to do damage, and it deals physical damage based on 20% of the corpse's maximum life. I also have the Sacrifice Spirit Gem activated to be able to target my own skeletal brutes, and that's why I grab minion life nodes on the passive tree. The DD spell is also scaled by critical hit chance and critical damage bonus. One big update made to this build was taking more critical damage bonus nodes at the expense of critical hit chance. My overall crit chance on DD went from something like 31% to 27%. However, my critical damage bonus is 435%. About 100% more than it was in the last video, and it makes a huge difference for sure. I originally went for Chronomancer because of the Recoup Ascendancy node, the Rapid River, and had 111% life recoup and 99% mana recoup. With this video update, that has changed a bit. I removed about half of the life recoup, so I'm down to only about 58% for life and 79% for mana. However, what I gained in return is massive in terms of life quality. I am now running Temporal Chains and Enfeeble Curses on Blasphemy Spirit Gem, so they are up at all times around me, slowing down my enemies and making their attacks deal less damage. With this change, I did have to sacrifice a decent chunk of spirit in order to be able to do that, but feeling like Neo amidst normies feels pretty friggin' cool. Really focusing on the curses in this update, I replaced 4 jewels that had life recoup with 7 jewels that have increased effect of auras from your skill, while also taking the curse effect nodes on the passive tree. I feel much safer than before. As of right now, on normal monsters, they deal 33% less damage to me and are slowed by 56%. And that's not including the Apex of the Moment Ascendancy node, which I did end up picking up. With all that said, I did change up my gear and passive tree quite a bit, which I'll show at the end of the video briefly. However, if you want to see everything nicely laid out, I added Mobiletics in the description below as well. The last thing I'm going to stress real quick, after playing this build for over a week now, this is an aiming build, but there's a lot of leeway and you don't have to be that precise. You may have noticed this yourself already, but the DD spell takes about half a second to activate, almost like Mustang's ability from Full Metal Alchemist. You throw down a spark, and then when the skeletal brutes run over it, they pick it up with their bodies and explode shortly thereafter. If you have any questions, watch the previous video and or let me know your questions down below. Now onto the gear. So just real quick, I ended up corrupting my wand, getting 30% chance not to destroy a corpse. Very cool. You can get yourself a cheap one. I actually bought one for 3 Exalted Orbs right before this corruption was done. I got a new resistance ring to compensate for the changes in the rest of the gear. The corruption on these gloves is wonderful at increasing the slowage we inflict on enemies, so get yourself a pair. I needed a new amulet with more spirit, so I got one with cast speed and crit damage bonus. The only really expensive item in this build is the scepter because of the high spirit. This set me back about 40 Exalted Orbs. But one just like this, without the spirit, will be about 5 or 10 Exalts. Here's the new passive tree that focuses on jewel slots and curse effect. As I'm showing you the jewels, you can kind of see the same type of theme, really focusing on the increased effect of auras from your skills, because again, our curses have been turned into auras thanks to the Blasphemy gem support or gem skill, whatever it is, I don't know. And so that plus the aura effect will boost the effect of the curses. There's some aura nodes kind of middle, bottom, left area, which I initially pathed to, but it's a lot of sacrifice. I think I had sacrificed like 11 nodes just to get to those passives, so I ended up unspecking them because it was just not worth it. I was running around maybe 65% temp chains instead of the 56 that I have, but that's going to be a decision you'll have to make if you want to go for those. Here's a quick snapshot of the increased area effect from the Ritualistic Curse gem support. The top picture is with the gem support and the bottom is without. It does make a bit of difference, but not a tremendous amount. That's why in my setup, I use Heightened Curse and Encumbrance, because I rather have my enemies be slower and weaker that are closer to me than just having less effect of the curses and more of an area of effect. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with another beautiful video.